Hey guys, my name is Ryan. I'm a full-time reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about sourcing a little bit, or a new way of sourcing I think there's a potential for. And I know this won't be for everyone. And honestly, I don't know if it's ethical, I guess. So let's get into it. So I just watched a video from Business Insider, and it was talking about Goodwill behind the scenes and, all this information. But one thing that really caught my eye was talking about how they want to almost kind of get rid of the reseller.
But now, big scores are getting harder to find. That's because Goodwill has gotten smarter about how they pull valuable items out of their donation stream.
To be honest, we try to cut out the reseller as much as possible.
Even though we're what kind of keeps a lot of their brick and mortar stores, I think, open personally. I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. Trust me, there will still always probably be Goodwill stores, but they are trying to move towards more an online presence. And I think they're just trying to be their own resellers as well. So if you've been following my journey, one of my goals is I want to open a thrift store. I want to open a thrift store that is a big name, but not just kind of corporate greed. My cause would be go towards teachers and education, and it's more focused on teachers, on helping them with getting school supplies they need to, provide. I have a lot of teacher friends, and occasionally they'll post something of like, hey, anyone want to help this GoFundMe to get kids books or supplies or things like that. And sometimes the teachers will buy it out of their own pocket, or they're asking for it. So I would love to create some kind of foundation, which there are already some foundations, which I might just look to partner with one of them instead. It might just be easier that way. But I want to help out teachers. I want them not to really have to worry about this. They can just kind of log in, see what they need. Obviously, we'll kind of look and then approve it or deny it if it's just kind of like, you really don't need that. But that's kind of like thinking way too far in the future, I think. But I really want to open a thrift store for this cause to help out teachers. So this weekend, I was actually even last week, I was going through different properties of potential areas. I found an area, I won't say because I just don't want someone to swoop in, but I found an area in my city. There's no thrift stores, like actual thrift stores. The closest one's going to be about 10 miles away, 15 miles away. And then the next one is probably close to 20 miles away or even further. So it's kind of on the edge of the city. And I think as a metropolitan kind of grows, you can kind of look at the outer rim of the city and kind of help build with it for the community. So I looked at a couple of properties. I found one, it had a fire. Let's just say that. It had a fire 12 years ago and burnt down part of the building, but the part that is still intact was saved. But the whole insides were gutted because the electricity and everything. So it's a bare building. It has been abandoned for 12 years. And I just keep looking at this thing. And I will say, since it's been abandoned, it got a little ghetto.
Change. Spare change, ma'am. Squidward? Squidward, is that you?
But I mean, I feel like you don't hardly have to advertise as much. And it's a big space. And I watched one video by Craigslist Hunter that was over 2 years ago, and he was talking about a friend that was trying to do a thrift store and wanted to do it in 1,000 square foot house. This video was probably the best piece of information I've just really said or read or watched or whatever. And he kind of was saying dude, you're gonna grow out of it so fast. And it's true. And it was a reality hit to me that these Goodwills, these ARCs, these Salvation Armies, the Restore, they do so well because they're large. Obviously, they have the money to put up front. I feel like, we'll just say Craigslist Hunter, for instance, in this video. I don't know if he still has this building or what.
How big is the place that you guys thinking?
1,000 square feet.
1,000 square feet. So just to give you a general idea, so I know you already seen it, you visualize it, but this front room here, the whole building that I have here has 10,000 square feet. The biggest mistake I made when we started our store many years ago, the first shop that we had, it was 1,600 square feet. We outgrew it in 3 months. That's how quick.
Yeah.
Within 10 months, we had to move. There was no more room. It was the biggest mistake of this operation, because stuff was coming in and there was no room to put.
But he was saying his place is like 10,000 square foot. 2,000 of it is just, backroom space. And he was also saying that 60%, and this is 2 years ago, 60% of his like sales were from online and 40% were in store. Obviously, I'm going through a different method than him. My method is I want to copy exactly what like Goodwill or Salvation Army does, rotate inventory, low cost, just people in and out the door. I don't care. Obviously, I want to curate items as well, and they're not going to probably be in store just like Goodwill. I'm sorry, but I will still leave things out because I want people to go back to the old days of finding that fun thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I just picked this up for $6 and it's $50. And I want to leave those little hidden things there. But also, I know as a personal reseller that I can make money on some of those, but I want to leave some. So that's just me. I want people to get that feeling of the fun and hunt of the thrift. If I can make that little profit margin, help out the charity I want, and pay employees to help build my community as well, I think that's great. Another location, it's kind of further into town. There is a landmark there that is for the Tulsa area. If that might be a big hint, but it is a landmark that people know from across the country. I won't say it, but there's an empty spot. It's like 3 buildings that are available. It's not even on like LoopNet or Serix. The only way you're gonna even know that it's for rent is because you drove by it. So I feel like I could get that one at a good deal. I can turn 2 spots into, the actual thrift store, and 1 spot like a donation center. These are just ideas. There's another spot, as a lot of people know, Route 21 filed for bankruptcy. So there's no more Route 21s. There's a lot of vacant spots still, but a lot of these places still don't say for lease. So I'm wondering if I got to contact the property owner or management company and see if maybe Route 21's still under these lease contracts. And then I got to contact like Route 21's corporate office or whatever and see if I can buy out their contract or just take over their lease. So that's a whole thing. But I've been researching this stuff like crazy all last week, and that's why I didn't really make a video or even this weekend. I'm focused. I want to figure out which way I want to go. I wouldn't want to say a midlife crisis, but I've been kind of like, what kind of indention do I want to leave on the world? And mine, truthfully, is I want to open a thrift store to help out people and help out a cause of teachers. I have a great friend that has a speech pathology company, and I want to work with her as well because we graduated together, and she's just amazing. She helped out my first son when we kind of found out he was autistic, and I'm very thankful for her. She just amazing. So I want to try to work out with her to help out other autistic kids, maybe if they can't, or parents feel like they can't afford these speech classes. Maybe I can help out in that way. So that's just another thing I'm very passionate about. Obviously, I relate to the autism thing because both my kids are autistic, and also teachers because a lot of my friends are teachers. And I'm very thankful for another teacher that when she passed away, we set up a scholarship. It is the Johnny Marshall Foundation, and she was just an amazing woman. Loved her to death. She actually, I came from a lower income family, of course. I feel like some resellers do as well, but I couldn't even afford a graphing calculator, and this woman went out and bought me a brand new TI-83 so I could, take the test or the ACT or whatever, and I'm just very thankful for her. She was just amazing woman. Like you would even see like a Friday night football game going on, and you could see her light in the high school still on because she'd be tutoring the kid or something. She was just amazing woman. But so I started thinking, I was driving around all these areas looking at potential properties, and obviously that costs a lot. Then I started getting on looking for fixtures, found the manufacturer that does make Goodwills, so I'm literally just trying to copy them. But I found their fixture person, and I was looking, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can start getting some fixtures and maybe hang some of my stuff instead of the box system that everyone uses for reselling, just to start out in my warehouse until I can get enough to actually move it over. I don't know, because e-commerce is, I sold one thing to Oklahoma today, so that's where it gets kind of like, man, having an online presence is crazy. But also, I was looking at how much I was spending in fees, promoted fees, shipping fees, and it was like $4,500. And I'm like, if I have $4,500, I could put this into rent, possibly. Would a brick and mortar do better than online? I don't really think so, but I feel like if you have the space, you start working on the name, you really put yourself out there, you could probably make about the same to start. And then you could still do the e-commerce on the side, which I feel like I could do. But just to start, this is where I get into the sourcing. Is I was driving through these locations and I started seeing all these like donation boxes, and I'm sure everyone sees them. They're like in grocery parking lots or just random parking lots across the country, or even at schools. And one thing I kept noticing, that they were all for profit. All of them, every single one that I was seeing was for profit. And I was seeing that they were all full, or there was stuff hanging out of some of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are for profit. Sometimes people just don't care. They just want to get rid of their stuff and move on. And I was thinking, well, what if I went and bought some donation boxes? This is where I get kind of controversial. And a lot of these companies, I Googled them, and you can't just buy directly from them. Because I was like, well, maybe I could just buy from them the raw donations, because I was watching like David Paleo, and he buys raw donations. But I'm like, what if I just skip that step? What if I skip the middleman and just kind of like how Goodwill is, and just buy my own donation boxes, put my own sticker. I won't use my own business name. I'll come up with a different name and put that it's for profit, just like this one, and I feel like there's a potential, and it might be a few weeks before it fills up, or who knows. I can still promote them. My friends know I'm a for-profit at the moment, but they also know I do a lot of charity work. I go to a lot of like charity events, and I enjoy it. I hang out with friends at these charity events. CANS Network is a really good one around here. It's the child abuse network that helps child abuse. I just more do volunteer work than monetary donations for them. But at them, I think it's the Pencil Box that does for school supplies. I think, the Johnny Marshall Foundation sets up scholarships for kids. There's just several different ones. And I was like, well, what if I just grab my own donations? And I skipped them. And I put them in spots that, obviously it's going to cost a lot. That's probably why there's not a crazy amount of them. But I was like, what if I just start with 1, 2, and then grow as I grow? I feel like that's a potential. I would love to hear what you guys think. Have you ever thought about buying your own donation bins? Make sure, if you are a for-profit, put for-profit on it. Do not, try to deceive anybody. But I thought I might actually try the donation box, and then I can go through my own donations, raw donations, and then whatever's I feel like I can't sell right now, I could donate to maybe not Goodwill or Salvation Army, but maybe to a mom and pop thrift store, or maybe to one of these because it's not good stuff. I don't know. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Have you guys thought about this, having your own donation box? Do you think it'd be worth it, the time and effort? I don't know. I think it might be worth a try. I might try to look into buying one or maybe two and see where that takes me. Who knows? I might have it there for a month and not get a single donation. Or I might put it there and in the first week it might be filled up and I'm like overwhelmed with donations. I don't know. But if I do buy it, I will let you guys know. I will let you know how it goes. It's exciting. And trust me, I still want to open the thrift store, but man, the startup costs are crazy. Insurance, staffing, all that. I'll get there one day. I know it. That is my long-term goal, and I know I'll get there. But anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to catch more content like this. We will see you next time. Bye.